In this demo of Salesforce's Revenue Lifecycle Management, we'll dive into how RLM simplifies and enhances the sales motion. This will show you firsthand how seamlessly every step of the sales process, from generating quotes to managing the ongoing contract relationship, is orchestrated on our Einstein 1 platform. Today, I'll be playing the role of a sales representative for the organization Quantum Bit, selling to a new account, New Wave Solutions. I already have an opportunity created for this account. What you'll see as we begin quoting is that the Revenue Lifecycle Management tool eliminates the need for deal desk or cumbersome spreadsheets by integrating everything directly with the opportunity. Once I have my quote, I'm able to select a price book. Our configurable price books help to ensure the right pricing for customers based on region, type, or other attributes. Next, I'm prompted to choose a product catalog. This helps to ensure I'm presented with the right product offerings for my customer. My organization is also able to leverage our product catalogs to sell through other channels, whether it be partner sales, a self-service portal, or even a commerce site. Within the catalog itself, I'm able to define different selling models at the individual product level. This helps to reduce the number of SKUs needed in our catalog and simplifies my negotiations as a rep. I'm also able to sell bundled solutions. These solutions can be static or dynamic in nature. What you'll see here is that I'm able to configure my bundle as needed. I can make changes to my bundle through product selections, suggested add-ons, and other attribute modifications, all with the appropriate guardrails to guide me. On the right side of my screen, I can see an overview of what I'm selling to my customer within this bundle, and I can update the pricing at any given time throughout this process. I can even double-click into individual line items and configure them further. These changes can help to drive additional pricing or product behavior downstream. Once I've configured my products, I'm able to get an overview of everything that I'm selling to my customer, and I can begin negotiating pricing. I can apply discounts as needed, and I can get an understanding of what is recurring versus one-time on my quote. At the organizational level, my company has the flexibility to define pricing based on bundle configuration, product attributes, volume, and more. In the case of my API product, this has been priced based on how my product was configured, as well as based on quantity and the discretionary discount that I applied as a rep. This is a really handy tool for your sales reps to understand the pricing waterfall for individual products. Finally, I'm able to wrap up this sale by generating and sending my quote document out to my customer. I could attach additional documentation as needed, and what we'll see is that being generated in Salesforce, my document is going to be able to merge information from every piece of this sale. That includes the account, the opportunity, the quote, and all of my line items. The document is fully configurable and dynamic in nature, so we can change things like the coloring, the logos, and the language that's on the document itself. Here you can see all of the products that we're selling to my customer at the correct pricing with the correct quantities. We have our dynamic terms and conditions. And finally, we have our e-signature block where we can integrate with a third-party e-signature tool. Once my quote has been accepted by the customer, we can begin syncing our opportunity. This can be done really at any time throughout the quoting process and is ultimately going to sync our quote lines upstream to our opportunity as opportunity products. We can also create our order. Our order is going to take all of the data from our sale and pass it downstream to be used for our finance and provisioning teams. Orders are created in Revenue Lifecycle Management directly from the quote and quote lines. On the order, the operations team can manage individual order items as needed for provisioning and billing. Once my order is activated, my finance team knows that my products are ready to be invoiced for, and we can kick off the billing processes. As a rep, I now have a contract created for my use. The customer's contract brings together sales, finance, and in many cases, legal. This will help us maintain our customers' assets throughout the lifetime of their agreement. Revenue Lifecycle Management allows us to meet the ever-changing needs of customers through easy asset mending capabilities. In this case, my customer has reached out to me months into their contract with interest in purchasing additional API quantities. I'll kick off this process by setting an effective date. Next, an amendment quote is going to be created for me. Here, I can see what my customer currently owns, and I can adjust quantities as needed. This quote is set to be coterminous with my existing contract, meaning the Salesforce will automatically calculate the proration. Ordering this quote allows my downstream teams to invoice and provision the new quantities. Activating this order solidifies the changes made and allows the reflection in the contracts and assets against the account record. Data is captured against each asset on the customer contract. We can see at the most granular level how quantity and associated revenue for a recurring service is scheduled to fluctuate over time. With asset actions, we can track all the changes that have been made against an asset throughout the lifecycle of this contract. When dealing with recurring customer agreements, it's important to have access to the necessary data to accurately renew your customers. Luckily, Revenue Lifecycle Management makes it incredibly easy to renew customers with just a couple clicks. These renewals will include the latest quantities and amounts from all the changes made throughout the term of our contract. At time of renewal, we can make additional changes leveraging the renewal quote that was already created for us. Once we create our order, we can activate it, ultimately writing back to our account. From one page, the account record, myself or anyone else who needs to service this customer has full visibility into the entire history of contracts, assets, opportunities, and orders with this customer. This includes an abundance of data which allows the organization to give their customers the best experience. All data can be analyzed and reported on natively within Salesforce to drive further insights into customer needs and well-being.